Hi guys, good morning everyone. You guys are able to see my screen, right? Okay, let's get started. So if we take our previous session, we are understanding about different kind of the stages, right? So the very first thing is while working with the blue prism, okay, we need to get understand that how we can design a object and at the same time how we can design a process here. Okay, but if you want to get design any object, or if you want to be design any process, which we need to be take with the help of the stages, right? So we need to be get understand that what are all the different kind of stages we are having it, and how we can utilize that particular stages here. Okay, so if we look into our previous sessions, we are getting understanding that working with the different kind of the stages here. Okay. Now, if we look into those particular stages, okay. So if I'm taking that particular stages, we are getting discussing about one we will be taking with the navigate stage, and one we will be taking with the write stage, and one we will be taking with the link stage, okay, link stage, and one we will be taking with the data item, and one we will be taking start stage, and one we will be taking end stage, okay. And then we discussed about calculation, okay, which we discussed about calculation, and then we are understanding about decision, and which we discussed about anchor stage, okay, anchor stage, and which we discussed about with the choice stage here. At last, which we are understanding about with the circular path, okay, which it will be taking circular path. Circular path is not like in a stage, but that is also one concept which it will be using it to get implemented with the loop activity, right? So according to the scenario, as a user, we need to be get understand that what are all these stages need to be get used here. Okay, so according to the requirement, we need to be get understand that what are all the stages need to be used here. All right. So now we need to be get understand that. Okay. So we need to be take with the some more advanced stages, that is which it will be mentioning about collection. Okay. So one we need to be discussed about collection, and one we have to be take care about loop activity, and the one we will be taking with the one more stage that we will be taking with the multi calculation. Okay, so we need to be get understand about with the collection, and which we will be taking about with the loop activity, and which it will be taking care about with the multi calculation here. All right. So now let's get understand about what exactly functionality of these particular stages, and how we can get utilize it while working with the blue prism here. Okay. The very first thing is, if I'm taking with the collection, this collection is enhanced for data item here. If I'm taking with the data item, what will be the purpose of the data item here? If I'm taking with the data item, which it has been mentioned it to store, okay, to store any particular data. If I'm taking with the data item which it has been used to store any particular data. In a similar manner, if I'm taking with the collection, it is also mentioning the store, which it will be mentioning that to store multiple data. Okay, it will be mentioning that to store multiple data in table format, which it will be mentioning that to store multiple data in table format. Okay, so if I'm taking with the collection, okay, if I'm taking with the collection, which it will be mentioning that to store multiple data in table format. Okay, So data item, it is also getting storing it. Collection, it is also getting storing it. Data item to store any particular data. Collection to get store multiple data in table format here. Right. Now let's get understand on it how exactly we can get implemented this collection and how we can store with the multiple data in a table format. The best example for the collection is we can take with the help of the Excel here, because whenever you are working with the Excel, we used to be how with the multiple data will be available in Excel, right? So whenever you want to be read with the data from Excel, that particular data need to be get stored. In that kind of scenarios, we need to be take with the help of the collection only. Okay, now let's get understand on it how exactly we can get work with the collection and how we can create with the collection here. So for that, it will be taking with the help of the data, sorry, Blue Prism, that it will be taking with the Studio tab. First, you need to be get create an object, right? So the very first thing is we need to be get create an object. We will be creating with the object here. So here, which it will be taking create object, mentioning the create object, and it will be mentioning with the object name. Whatever the object name you want to be provided, it can get provide any object name here, and click on the next button. If required description, you can provide it. Otherwise, you can get click on the finish button here. Okay, and now we can see here. So if I'm taking with the collection, okay, just take with the double click on it, it will get open. First two tabs we are not performing anything, which it will be taking with the action one, which it will be taking with the rename here. If required, you can take with the rename, which it will be mentioning with the collection here. Okay, and the size I will be mentioning it, which it will be taking with these things here. Okay, so one it will be taking with the start stage and one it will be taking with the end stage here. Now we are mentioning collection, right? You will be able to see with the stage name is collection. Just you can get implemented drag and drop. For now, it is clearly mentioning that collection is empty. Okay, so if I'm taking with the collection, which it is clearly mentioning that collection is empty here. Now let's take with the double click on it. Once you perform the double click, it will be asking with the collection name. Coming to the collection name, you can provide any collection name, doesn't make any problem here. Which you will be taking with the collection name, that you will be providing with the name here. And after that, you will be taking with the fields here. So fields are nothing but column names. In a table, you will be having with the columns, right? So to take that particular column names, which you will be taking with the fields here. Okay. So to take with the column names, you will be taking with the field. Next, you will be taking initial values. Initial values are nothing but, okay. So initial values are nothing but which we need to be take with the getting details about with the respective column. That means in a table, whatever the data I want to be get inserted, that details I will be providing in initial values. Now we can see it is giving add row and remove row. For now, these two are in disable. Okay, so for now, these two are in a disable mode here. Okay, so now if you want to be get enable, once you are providing any column names, then automatically these buttons will be getting enabled here. Okay, and at the same time you are having one more tab that you will be taking current values. So current value is an empty by default. Okay, so by default, which it will be taking with the empty only. The reason is until unless once we are executing our collection, once you are executing whatever the data is available in a collection, so that it will be coming this data into the tab of current values here. Okay, so one it will be taking with the fields, and one it will be taking with the initial values, and one it will be taking with the current values here. Okay, now let's get understand on it how we can get implemented this particular data. First, we will be taking with the fields. Fields are nothing but column names here. Now we can see here, I will be clicking on add field here. Then it will be asking with the field details, which I will be taking with the column name here. That I will be mentioning with the column name is employee ID. And you will be providing that respective data type. Employee ID means number, right? You will be taking number. If required description, you can provide with the description here. Okay. And then you will be clicking on add field. Again, you will be taking with the employee name. Name is nothing but text, right? You will be taking with the text here. You will be taking add field, which you will be mentioning the employee salary. So we don't have any restrictions here according to the requirement. Okay. So according to the requirement, how many field names? Okay. How many field names you want to be get added? You can get added with that many field names here. So according to the scenario, as a user, we need to be get understand that what are all the field names we have to be get added here. Okay. So we don't have any restrictions to get added with the column names here. Okay. And then now we need to be provided with the data type that we will be taking with the number here. Okay. Now we can see here, as we provided with the field names, nothing but column names. If I go to the initial value, you will be able to see that these buttons got enabled. By default, these buttons are in disable. Now these buttons got enabled. And once I'm clicking on add row, whatever the field name we have been provided, these field names will be getting visibility here. Now we can see here, once I click on add row, automatically those column names are getting visibility. Whatever the column names, nothing but whatever the field names we have been provided, those field names are getting visibility. Okay, those field names are getting visibility. Okay, those field names are getting visibility into this here, right? So now whatever the data you want to be get inserted, okay, whatever the data you want to be get inserted to the respective column names, you can get inserted with the data. And to get insert with the data also, okay, so to get insert with the data also, we don't have any specific limit here. Okay, there is no any specific limit to get inserted with the data. According to the project requirement, how many rows you want to be get inserted. Okay, how many rows you want to be get inserted, you can get inserted that many rows here. Okay, so for now you can see here what are all the data you will be getting inserted here. First, you will be taking with the employee ID, taking with the 101, and then taking with the employee name. Then you will be providing with the salary, which it will be providing the salary details here. Getting added with the one more row. How many rows you want to be get added? You can get added any of the rows. We don't have any limit here, which it will be providing with the one more row. Then you will be taking with the details here. Okay, and then you will be taking with the one more row, which it will be getting added. You will be taking with the details here. So that you will be taking this 3000. Okay, then let me get one more row, which you will be taking 104, and which it will be providing with the details here. Okay, now it will be providing the respective details. Now we can see here, one we have been taken with the field name, nothing but which it will be taking with the column names here. And after that we have been taken about with the initial values. If I'm taking with the initial values, okay, so if I'm taking with the initial values are nothing but which we need to be getting providing with the data, whatever the data we have to be get inserted here. Okay, now let's click on OK button. Now we can see here it is getting row 1 of 4, right? So previously it is giving an empty, now it is getting mentioning with the 1 of. Now let's get read with the data from this collection here. Okay, so first we have been created with the data into the collection. Okay, First we created with the one collection. Now in the collection we got inserted with the data. There may be a chances we will be having with the requirement to read with the data from this collection. So to read with the data from the collection, which it will be taking with the help of the stages, that it will be taking with the calculation. We already discussed about with the calculation, right? Basically calculation has been used to perform any calculations, but for now to read with the data from the collection also we are taking with the help of the calculation stage. Okay, now we can see here which you will be taking with the calculation stage. Now you will be taking calculation stage. Perform double click on it. It will be mentioning the which you will be taking read underscore employee ID. Okay. Now how we can read with the data from the collection? So to get read with the data from the collection, first we will be taking with the collection name. Okay, so whenever you want to be read with the data from the collection, first you will be taking with the collection name. Dot, you will be taking with the column name here. Column name is nothing but, okay, column name is nothing but your field name here. So we provided the field names in a collection, right? So whatever that field name is there, we need to be get provided that field name here, which it will be mentioning that employee ID. Now it will be referring with the collection name. Under the collection name it will be referring that column name. From there it will read with the data and need to be get stored. So first storing it, okay, so first storing it, which it will be taking with the result. Okay, it will be taking with the result underscore I will be taking employee ID, creating this data item. Okay, now let's click on validate. It is a valid, clicking on okay. Right, now this is one data item here. Okay, fine. So now first you are taking with the collection. From the collection you are getting reading with the data here. Okay, next let me take with the one more calculation stage, which it will be taking with the read activity. Read underscore it will be taking with the employee salary. Again it will be taking with the same thing. Now we can see here by default you are getting that column names also. Now you will be taking with the employee data dot you will be taking employee salary, right, which you will be taking with the employee salary. Okay, first it was taking with the collection name dot it will be taking with the column name, which it will be mentioning the result underscore it will be taking salary. Create this, clicking on okay. Again it will be taking one more data item. Oh, and after that it will be taking with the one more calculation stage, which it will be taking with the calculation stage, which it will be mentioning the read underscore it will be taking employee name. Now you will be taking with the employee name and it will be taking with the store and result underscore it will be taking employee name. Create this data item. Okay, right, now we can click on validate. Expression is valid. Okay, fine. So now according to the requirement, or nothing but according to the requirement, whatever the read activities need to be done, you are taking that respective calculation stages and you are getting storing into the respective data item. Now you will be taking with the end activity. Okay, right, now we can see here I will be taking with the connectivity, reading employee ID, employee salary, employee name, and end activity. I will be taking reset, which I am taking with the reset. It will be taking into the slow mode here. Okay, so now I'm taking with the reset, which you will be taking with the run activity. Now we can see here, whenever I'm taking with the run activity, it will be reading with the employee ID and employee salary, taking employee name and then end activity, right? So once it is reading with the employee ID and once it is reading with the employee salary and taking with the name and then taking with the end activity. Right, now if we look into this, it was getting reading with the data from only one particular row. If I'm taking with the collection, totally we are having 4 rows are available, but we are able to read with the data from only one particular row here, right? But most of the time, you will be having with the requirement to get read with the data from multiple rows, nothing but from whole table. For that particular purpose, we need to be get implemented with the loop activity. So to get implemented with the loop activity, we already discussed about with the circular path here. But if you want to be get a loop activity with the help of circular path, right? So whenever you are working with the circular path, to get implemented with the loop activity, we need to be get understand that, right? We need to be get understand that. We need to be take with the details about loop start value and which will be taking with the loop end value, right? We need to be take with the loop start value and which will be taking with the loop end value, okay, which will be taking with the loop start value and will be taking with the loop end value, then you will be taking with the loop increment, right, which you will be taking with the loop increment and which it will be taking with the loop condition. Okay, so these many things need to be get implemented. The thing is, whenever you are working with the circular path, it's mandatory that user has to be know that. Okay, user has to be know that what will be the loop start value and what will be the loop end value. Until unless if user doesn't know that up to what particular time, I mean up to what particular condition the loop has to be continued, then we cannot get implemented circular path. If I'm taking with the collection, for now it is mentioning that only 4 rows, so we can say that loop starting value is 1 and loop ending value is 4, that is okay. But going forward, assume that there may be a chances you doesn't know that how many rows will be getting into the collection here. Okay, at that particular time we cannot get implemented this loop activity here. Okay, so for that what Blue Prism has been done is to get implemented with the loop activity while working with the collection. They provided with the built-in stage that it will be taking with the loop here. Loop itself is considering a one stage. Circular path is also loop activity, that is we are implementing it. But if I'm taking with the, okay, so if I'm taking with the loop, if I'm taking with the loop, it is not get implementing with the loop, it is just a one built-in stage here. Okay, so if I'm taking with the loop, it is considering with the one built-in stage. Okay, it is getting implementing one built-in stage. This is has been used to continue, okay, to continue loop activity based on collection. Okay, the loop stage will be taking with the loop activity only, but this loop activity, okay, this loop activity will be working based on collection. Okay, so the loop activity will be getting implemented based on the collection. So the simple concept is whenever we are working with the collection is nothing but getting storing multiple data in a table format. That means which it will be having multiple rows are available. So to get work with the multiple rows, we required with the loop activity. So to get implemented with the loop activity, it will be taking with the help of the loop stage here. Now, to get work with the loop stage, there is no concept of starting value, no concept of ending value, or no concept of loop increment or anything. Then how loop will be working? So the loop will be working based on the collection. whatever the collection you have been provided, based on this particular collection, the loop will be getting implemented. Okay, now we can see here, I will be taking with the option of the loop. Now I'm taking with the loop. Now we can see we are getting with the loop start value, which you will be getting with the loop end value. Okay, now let's get delete here. Once I'm taking with the drag and drop of the loop activity, automatically will be getting with the end here. One I will be taking with the loop start and one I will be taking with the loop end here. Okay, fine. Now we can see here how you will be working is you will be mentioning that where loop has to be started. Next, you will be mentioning that where loop has to be ended. Now, in between, whatever the stages are there, okay, in between, whatever the stages are there, so these stages will be continued in the loop here. No concept of starting value and no concept of ending value and anything. Now we can see here, I will be taking with the connectivity. Okay, right. Now I'm taking reset, but still we are able to see one error here. The reason it is giving an error is if I'm taking with the loop activity, you are taking with the loop stage only, but your loop stage is not understanding based on which collection it has to be take loop here. Now we can see here. If I'm taking double click on it, by default it will be getting with the drop down mentioning with the collection. Now whatever the collections you have been created, that you will be getting with the list of it. For now we are having only employee data, right? You are able to see only that collection name in a drop down. For example, I will be taking one more collection. Now we are having two collections, right? Let's take with the double click on it. Now we can see able to see with the both the collections here. Okay, so having with the both the collections are there here. So this is which it will be taking with the loop activity. Now I'm removing this particular collection. I'm taking with the reset. Now we can see here. Sorry, not selected. Okay. Let me select employee data. Click on OK. Now let's take reset, giving 0 errors here. Okay. Now I'm taking reset, take with the run activity. Now we can see here it will be reading with the data from the first row here. So taking it 101. Next, it will be continued with the loop. How many rows are available? That many times it will be continued with the loop. Taking with the second row here. Again, it will be taking with the loop. Until unless all the rows are completed, it will continue with the loop and then it will be taking with the end activity. Now we can see here, this will be the last time it will be taking with the loop activity. Taking with the end here. Okay, so this it will be mentioning with the implementing with the collection and then reading with the data from the collection here. Okay, so thus understanding that one it will be taking with the collection and one it will be taking with the loop here. Okay, so clear up to this. Any clarifications from here? Working with the collection and then working with the loop activity.
So when we put the loop end there, we need not change the properties there?
No, not required. So once you are providing with the loop start, you are providing collection details, right? According to this collection, it will be understanding when it has to be get ended. Not required to provide any settings in the loop end.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Right. Now, if I'm looking into this collection, we are taking with the help of the calculation stages in a collection. Okay, if I'm taking with the collection, we are having 3 column names. For 3 column names, we are having 3 calculation stages. Assume that if you're having 5 column names, then you will be taking with the 5 calculation stages. If you're having 10 column names, then you will be taking with the 10 calculation stages. Or if you're having 20, then you will be taking 20 calculation stages. According to the concept, that is okay. But if you take with the standards, it will not become in a very effective, right? As you are having some 50 column, taking with the 50 calculation stages is not an effective manner. And the two, we are performing same activity, just read activity only. Now, rather than taking with these many calculation stages, okay, rather than taking these many calculation stages to get implemented with the same activity, we can take with the help of the multi calculation stage here. Previously, we are discussing about with the calculation stage. For the calculation stage, enhancement will be the multi calculation. Okay, so if I'm taking with the calculation stage, we will be mentioning that to perform any single calculation. For understanding purpose, we can say that to handle or to perform any single calculation. Okay, but if I'm taking with the multi calculation, right? So if I'm taking with the multi calculation, which it will be mentioning that to perform. Okay, to perform multiple calculations. Okay, to perform multiple calculations. Okay, to perform multiple calculations in a single step. Okay, so in a single step. That means whatever the calculations you have to be performed, everything it will be done in a single step here. That means you can see here. Let me take with the same thing. I'll say duplicate. Okay, this I will be mentioning it collection hyphen multi calculation. Okay, now we can see here. Whenever I'm taking with the multi calculation or working with multi calculation, I'm getting removing all the calculation stages. In a place of these calculation stages, okay, in a place of these calculation stages, you will be taking with the help of the multi calculation stage. Now I'm taking multi calculation stage. Okay, in a place of all the calculation stages, you will be taking with the help of the one multi calculation stage. Okay, right. Now we can see here. Let's take with the double click. Previously, what you were performing, the same activity we can get implemented here. Now, what you will be doing is, which you will be mentioning that read underscore employee data. Okay, so which it will be mentioning that read underscore employee data. Okay, now here what I will be mentioning it, they will be writing with the expression, nothing but what exactly the calculation need to be done it. Now we can see here. Let's click on this expression editor. I need to be take employee ID, right? Which I will be taking employee ID. Taking with the column name and then providing collection name and then taking with the column name here. Okay. Sorry guys. So once I click on validate, it is giving valid. Where it's need to be get stored, already we are having store in data item, right? This is employee ID, will be taking employee ID. Now we want to be get added one more condition. Okay, just take with the add here. According to the requirement, okay. According to the requirement, how many conditions you want to be write it, nothing but how many expressions you want to be write it, you can write it here. Right, next I will be taking with the employee salary, which it will be taking with the employee salary, taking with the add and then taking with the employee name, which it will be taking with the employee name. Now we can click on OK. So previously we got taking with the three calculation stages. Now all three calculation stages you are getting implementing in one particular stage. Now let's take with the connectivity. I will be taking with the link here. Let's take reset. Now we can see here, if I'm taking with the collection stage, if I'm taking with the run, now we can see the data is getting updated one by one. Now we can see the data is getting updated one by one here. So whenever you are working with the collection stage, it is able to perform single calculation, nothing but it will be performing with the one by one here. Now the same activity we are getting implementing with the multi calculation stage. So if I'm taking with the multi calculation stage, it will perform all the activities in a single step here. Now we can see here, I'm taking reset. Now, once I click on the run activity, you can clearly look into that. The data will get updated in all the three data items in a single step here. Now, let me take reset run activity. Now, first it will be taking loop. Now we can see three data items got updated. Three data items are getting updated in a single step. Again, taking with the loop activity 102, taking with the loop activity 103, and taking with the loop activity 104. So this is what you can understand the major advantages of the RPA concept. So these kind of features will not be available in any other automation tool here. Now, whatever the calculations he had to be performed, all the calculations able to get performed in a very single step here. Okay, so this is which it will be mentioning with the multi calculation stage here. So one it will be working with the calculation stage, and one it will be taking with the multi calculation stage here. So this it will be getting understanding about all the different kind of the stages, which it will be taking about basic stages, and which it will be taking some advanced stages here. It's not like that we got completed all the stages, but these are the some very common stages need to be get understand it to get designed with any of the particular flows here. Okay. So clear about with the collection stage, loop stage, and multi calculation. Any more clarifications from here? Okay, right. So now let's get understand with the one more option, that is which we need to be discussed about with the one more feature that we will be mentioning it, built-in functions here. Okay, which it will be taking built-in functions. That means whenever you are working with the blue prism, okay, so whenever we are working with the blue prism to perform some particular activities, already blue prism has been provided some built-in functions. Okay, not required to perform any major programming or anything from our side. Already blue prism itself got provided some built-in functions here. Okay, now we can understand that how we can utilize those built-in functions here. Let's take an example further. So for that, let me take collection stage only. Again, I'll be taking with the duplicate, which I will be mentioning the built-in functions. Okay, click on OK. Now we can see how utilizing with these things here. Okay, so what exactly mean by built-in functions is, let's take an employee name here. If I'm taking with the collection, in a collection we are able to see with the employee name. Now the requirement is we need to be retrieve the length of the employee name. Nothing but how many characters are available. So if I'm taking with the employee name, in employee name, how many characters are available, we need to be get retrieve the length of the employee name. So now to retrieve that, not required to take any huge programming here. By default, it will be taking with the help of the built-in functions. Now we can see how we can get implemented here. Okay, right. So for that, how you will be performing that activity is, okay, I will be taking with the help of the one calculation stage, which you will be taking with the help of the calculation stage. Perform double click on it. So here you will be mentioning the employee length, or you will be mentioning the employee name length. Okay. Now, if I'm taking expression, you will be writing the logic. So here you will be taking with the built-in functions. So to make with the very easy, already Blue Prism got divided the built-in functions into the respective groups here. Now we can see that you are able to see with the group wise here. For example, conversion related, data related, date related. For now, I will be taking with the text here. If I'm taking with the text related to the text, whatever the activities need to be performed, you can utilize those functions here. Now I will be taking with the length here. Okay. If I'm taking with the length, it is asking it for which length you have to be use it. So that I will be taking with the activity. So if I'm taking with the length, okay, which you will be taking with the text, right? What is that? Employee name. So which it will be taking with the employee name here. Okay. So if I'm taking with the length, which it will be mentioning with the employee name here. Fine. So mentioning that employee name. So now it will be taking with the size of the employee name. We need to be store it, right? So that it will be taking with the result underscore. It will be taking with the size here. Okay. Create this data item. Now we can click on OK. Now we can see here. This is getting with the data item. Now let me take with the connectivities here. I will be taking with the link activity. Okay, I'm taking reset, run it. Now if you see here, reading with the employee ID, taking with the employee salary, taking employee name, and it will be taking with the length also. Now we can see that taking with the length is 6. Again, it will be continued with the loop activity. It will be taking with the second row, nothing but second employee, then taking with the loop activity, which is taking 12. So now we have not done any programming, right? Just we are taking within the built-in function, automatically it will be able to perform those activities, able to take within the size of the employee. Okay, so like this, we can take with the help of the built-in functions here. Whatever the functions you want to be use it according to the scenario, we can take with the help of those things. For example, I will be getting added with the one more calculation stage. Okay, so which I will be taking with the one more calculation stage here. Now here, which I will be mentioning the capital letter here, mentioning the uppercase. Everything need to be get converted into the uppercase letters here. Then you will be taking with the text only. Here you will be getting with the option is upper. Okay, so which it will be getting with the option is upper, which it will be taking with the uppercase here. Right, now we can see here. I will be taking with the employee name only, which I will be taking with the employee name. So here we need to be provided, right, which I will be taking with the text here. In a place of text, I will be taking this employee name, that this will be getting converted into the uppercase letters, result underscore, which it will be mentioning that uppercase. Okay, then you will be creating this data item. Okay, click on OK. Now let's take with the connectivities. And then loop ender, taking with the reset. This is the data item. Okay. Now let me take into the little bit fast mode here. Now I'm taking reset, run it. Now we can see here it will be getting converted everything into the uppercase letters here. So whatever the employee name is there, it will be getting converted into the uppercase letters here. Right, so taking with the converting into the uppercase letters. Next it will be taking with the third row, the whole data will be converted into the uppercase letters. Okay, so here it's not like only related to the employee name or anything. We can take some functions like date activity also. Now we can see here, let me take with the one more calculation stage. I will be taking one more calculation stage. Perform double click on it, mentioning that today's date. Okay, then you are able to see date related here. So if I take in with the expand of it, you will be getting all the information related to the date here. For now, I'm taking with the today. Today is nothing but which it will be giving the current date. You are having the option is now also. Now is nothing but it will be taking with the date and which it will be taking with the time here. Now I will be taking, okay. Now let's take with the connectivity here. Taking with the today. But we required with the date item, right? Which I will be taking date. Created. Oh. Now if I'm taking with the run activity. I mentioned once the loop activity has been completed. Once loop activity has been completed, then it will be taking with the date also. So whatever the current date is there, it will be getting implemented that current date also. Now we can see here which it will be taking with the all the activities, right? So it will be performing, it will be taking with the all the loop activities and at the same time taking with the loop end, loop end activity and then failed. Okay, there is no connectivity here, right? Taking this connectivity. Okay. Let me take this data here. Now I'll be taking this run it. Now we can see that reading all the data, then taking employee size, converting into the uppercase letters. Once all the things has been completed, it will be taking today's date also. Whatever the today's date is there, which it will be taking that today's date here. Okay. Now let's look into this. Now we'll see that whether the date is performing or not. Okay, now we can see here taking with the today's date. Whatever the today's date is there, it will be taking today's date here. It's not like only today's date here. Anything. For example, I'll be taking with the one more calculation stage, which I will be mentioning with, like, for example, OS information. Now in this system, whatever the OS is available, I need to be retrieve that OS details. Now we can take with the environment, which it will be mentioning that get OS version. Okay, now I'll be taking with the get OS version. Then you will be taking with the store in data item that you will be taking with the OS. Create this data item. Okay, now we can see here. If I'm getting executed, let's take with the connectivity. Okay, it will be taking with the connectivity, or to make this connectivity in proper manner, you can take with the help of the anchor stage also. By this, it will be taking with the connectivity here, and which it will be taking with the end activity. Now you will be taking with the reset and take with the run activity. Then it will be taking what the details about with the OS. In your system, whatever the OS is available, it will be retrieving that particular OS also. It's not like that it will be working all the built-in functions according to the scenario. As a user, we need to be get understand that what are all the functions need to be get use it here. Okay, now we can see here taking with the today's date and taking with the OS details. So in my system, I'm having with the Windows 7, which it will be providing that Windows 7 here. Okay, so this is what which you will be getting working with the built-in functions here. Okay, so clear up to this? Any clarifications about the built-in functions? Okay, right. Now if we look into this particular object, we are having a lot of objects are there, right? So we are taking with the lot of the data items. Like now we can see these are the data items related to collection, and these are the data item related to the built-in functions. So as part of the scenario or as part of the requirement, we are taking with the lot of built-in functions. We are using it, data items we are using it. According to the functionality wise, everything is working fine. We don't have any issues here. But for the user, this is not becoming in a very effective here. The look and feel, because We are taking lot of data items. The user will be getting confusion. What are all the data items it is getting using it? So to make that look and feel or to take with the appearance will be the very clear, it will be taking with the help of the one more stage that it will be taking with the block here. Okay, so we'll be taking with the help of the one more stage that it will be taking with the block. What exactly the functionality or what exactly the purpose of the block stage? The purpose of the block stage is to differentiate with the group of stages. Okay, so to differentiate a group of stages, that means if you want to be group some stages, then you will be taking with the help of the block. That means you can see here, I'm clicking on it. Now all these data items are related to the collection, right? It will be selecting it, mentioning that which it will be taking with the collection. And at the same time, I will be grouping these things here. So these are related to the collection. Okay, so which it will be taking with the collection. Now these are related to the collection, right? Perform double click on it, which I will be mentioning the collection. Okay. And now I'll be taking with the one more block. These are related to the built-in functions. So I will be mentioning that which I will be taking with the functions. And here also I'll be mentioning it. These will be related to the functions, which you will be taking with the functions here. Okay. And still, if you want to be make very clear, you can take with the color changes also, which it will be taking with the color changes here. And this is also will be taken with the same color. Now by this, if anyone is looking into that, they can understand that these two related to the sum activity and these two will be the sum activity. As it is clearly mentioning that functions, the user can understand that, okay, so these are related to some built-in functions for this respective data items or these things. Similar to that, it will be taking collection. So like this, it can get grouped with any of the stages. Okay, it's not like taking any functionality, just for the user to take with the look and feel in a very clear, we can take with the help of the block here. So whenever you are working with the blue prism, if I'm taking with the stages, this block also, which it will be considered with the one more stage that it will be taking block. It will help you to differentiate with the group of the stages. Okay, so this is how which it will be taking a design in effective manner here. Okay, so this working about with the most of the stages related to the requirement, and we are very clear about working all these kind of stages. Now with the help of these stages, we need to get started designing with the flows here. But before getting designing with the flows, okay, before getting designing with the flows, we need to get understand that what are all the debug options while working with the blue prism. Because if everything is working fine, okay, but in case of anything is failing it, we need to be analyze that why it was failing it, that what it will be taking with the debug activity. We need to be debug it at what particular step it is failing it and why it is failing it. So for that, while working with the blue prism also, we are having different kind of the debug options. So we need to be get understand that what are all the different type of the debug options and how we can utilize those options. So once we are clear about with the debug options, then we'll be getting started developing our flows. Okay, so tomorrow we'll be discussing about with the debug options in Blue Prism. We'll get understand that what are all the debug options are available and how we need to utilize that particular debug options here, and then it will be getting starting it developing or designing with the basic flows. Okay, so clear up to this. Any more clarifications here?
No.
Okay. So if we don't have any clarifications, we can get exit from the meeting. So meet you tomorrow. So tomorrow we'll be discussing about with the debug options here. Okay.
I still
Hello.
have problem while installing the software. Like it
Okay.
shows the session has been expired when I'm uploading the license thing.
What is the problem you are getting?
Session has been expired.
Session expired. Is it like password expired?
No, no. The for the license thing, when I'm uploading the license thing, it
Okay, when
shows
you're uploading
expired.
license.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So what I can do is always remember that whenever you are taking with the login, okay, whenever you are taking with the login into the Blue Prism, take with the system date is 1st May 2017. Okay.
Okay.
Mention date is 1st May 2017, then take with the login. Once you're done with the login, then you can get uploaded, you will get uploaded. If you want, I can try it now.
Okay.
Uh, Carry on, Srinivas, I think you are asking some question.
Yeah, Suresh, so I want to speak with you personally. So can I have your contact number, please?
A minute regarding particularly.
So regarding this course only, like this is my first class actually.
Oh,
Uh,
okay. Mm-hmm.
uh, just I have some queries, so that's why just I want to speak with you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just you can wait it. Once this task has been done, we'll discuss on it. Yeah.
yeah, okay.
The remaining guys, if you don't have any questions, you can get exit from meeting. Doesn't make any problem. Yeah, Avanta, is it clear? Is it got uploaded?
Just a second. I'm doing it.
Yeah.
1st May, right?
Yeah, 1st May 2017.
Okay. Firstly, I'm unable to download itself. Like while I'm downloading it, it shows a session has been expired.
Which one you are downloading? The license file you are telling
Personal,
it?
yeah, personal dot license.
That is not getting downloaded?
No.
Mm, just a second. Can you share your screen?
Sure.
I give an option.
Yes. So this
Yeah.
is the thing.
Now go to the tool.
It doesn't download. Like it
Yeah,
only downloads when I change the date to 2018, and then it pop-ups like the session has been expired, and
no,
I'm
no, no,
unable
no.
to.
Yeah, one second, one second.
Yeah.
Did you got open Blue Prism window now?
So you're talking about this thing?
Yeah. Okay, not yet open, right? Okay, okay. Now take with the login here.
Yeah.
Okay. Now change with the system date to the current date.
Current date.
Yeah. So generally what will happen is once you change with the system date, your internet connection will not be working. Okay. So once you're done with the login into the Blue Prism. Okay. Once you're done with the login into the Blue Prism, then you can change with the system date to the current date. Doesn't make any problem.
Okay. So
So every time, whenever you are taking with the getting opening Blue Prism, change with the system date and then take the login. Once you're done with the login activity, after that you can revert back to the current date. Now we can go to this. Yeah, you can try the download.
It shows the same thing.
Automation anywhere enterprise client. Click on OK. There you can click on the download option in the top. Yeah. Click on it. Just open Google page. The net is working. Just open one more tab and then get open the Google page.
It's already in Google.
Yeah, just you can open the Google page. Anything. Yes. Meeting open and wait. Now, are you able to download anything here? Any
The other file.
any try in case if you have any attachment, try to download it.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, this is downloaded. Now try the same thing now. License also. Just take with the right click and then take download. Yeah. Okay. So that's what you can do is I can just ask with the Mind Magics people. They will mail you this license file. Okay.
Sure. Okay.
So,
I
yeah,
actually
they'll be.
asked them, and like they have shared me the link the second time. So even then, I'm unable to do it.
Yeah. Then you can ask them that to send us attachment. Okay.
Okay.
So by that you can get download and then you can get added on it.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Sure.
Yeah. That's the only
Yeah.
thing. That is the
Yeah.
only issue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Tell me, Srinivas, carry on now. Hello. Hello. Srinivas, are you available?
Yeah, hi, Suresh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is it okay if I speak in Telugu?
Yeah. Yeah. Now everything is. Yeah. You can carry on your questions. Yeah.
Oh, fine, sir. యాక్చువల్లీ ఒకటి ఏంటంటే అండి నేను ఇంతకుముందు నాకు యాక్చువల్లీ ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్ వచ్చేసి ఆల్మోస్ట్ ఒక 10 years ఉంది ఈ ఐటీలో. సో ఓకే ఇఫ్ ఐ కంటిన్యూ ఇన్ దిస్ ఆర్ నాట్ అనేది ఐ మీన్ కెన్ ఐ గో హెడ్ విత్ ఆర్పిఏ ఆర్ నాట్ అనేది ఒక వచ్చిన కొరే.
అంటే మీ previous experience ఏంటి? What is your previous experience into?
So my previous experience into IT only, IT into Microsoft technologies.
Microsoft Technologies. Okay.
SharePoint, .NET and SharePoint, mostly in SharePoint.
Okay. Okay. So total is 10 years experience.
Yes.
Yeah. So how we need to be plan is, as we are having everything is Microsoft Technologies. In a 10 years experience, you need to be say that like in a 8 years will be your .NET, I mean SharePoint experience, and the current 2 years you need to be explain them that you are having RPA experience. Okay. And that RPA experience also you need to be explain them then like you got lead some project, because as almost you are having 10 years, you need to be say that initially got work with the RPA project and after that got a chance to lead with the RPA project. Then you will be having with the more chances to get with the more packages and then to get change with the job very easily.
Can we manage that one if I take this is a new technology for me? Like if I take
can
an
easily get, because as you are having some programming background and you are having some this oral experience, very easily you will be able to learn with the tool, because as a seen there is no concept of the programming here. Okay, just everything is a drag and drop only. We don't have any programming or anything. All the concepts, everything you will be getting implemented with just a drag and drop feature. So because of that, nothing to worried about any coding part or programming part or anything.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
So,
No concept of the coding or anything. Yes.
mhm. So, so which one is the best tool to learn? Blue Prism is one, and we need to learn is automation anywhere as well. How it is there?
No, it's not like mandatory that generally the people will be mentioning that to learn with the multiple RPA tools, but it's not like mandatory that to learn with the multiple RPA tools. So any one tool will be the more enough here. Okay. So
Oh,
generally nowadays the most of the market or most of the people is preferring to go with the Blue Prism here. Okay.
mm,
That's the
oh,
only thing. It's not like there is no condition. There is no condition like need to be learned with the two tools here. Better thing is to
mm,
better to learn with any one tool only, and we'll be saying that we are expertise in that particular tool. That will be the good thing.
oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, like, uh, can I get any projects on this one? After that, this
No,
training, like,
projects mean, yeah, generally projects means if I'm taking this particular training, so this particular training will be considered as a project training. It's no concept of theory part or anything. Okay. So if we take the today session, we don't have any application of it. The reason is first I'm making the people to comfortable with understanding with individual stages. And from day after tomorrow, the project will be getting started. Like we'll be taking one web application and then we'll be getting automated that web application here. That means in a real time, how you will be getting automated any application with the help of Blue Prism tool. In a similar manner, you will be getting with the training here. So by the completion of this training, you will be getting understanding that how we can get automated any of the project, I mean any of the web application. So the same thing you will be mentioning in the interviews also. So in interviews, how you will be planning is as already you are having some work experience, you will be having your own projects, what you have been got working, right? So for those applications, you will be mentioning that it got implemented with the this Blue Prism here. That's how we will be planning it.
oh. So, one more thing, one more doubt, is there any possible to take weekends, full weekends kind of thing from morning to evening session?
No, actually, I'm not into the totally this timing part. I'm working, so because of that, I'll not be getting possibility to take weekends. This is regular sessions, daily 1 hour session only. So hardly 1 month it will be taking it. Nothing but 25
Oh,
hours. Yeah,
25 working days it will take, you are saying, is it correct?
yes, yeah, that's it.
Like,
So
including
within
that
1 month, I
weekend,
will be able to complete it.
uh,
Carry
Suresh,
on.
is it including the weekends or
No,
without?
generally Monday to Friday. So generally from Monday to Friday, I'll be taking it. Sometimes if required, the people are available, I'll be taking on Saturday also. But generally we'll go with Monday to Friday.
Monday to Friday. So after the session, so whenever if you practice something in the system, then if I get any doubt and if I want to ask something, then what is the way to reach you?
Generally, you guys will be receiving with the recorded session. So once you refer that recorded session, everything, almost the issues will get cleared. Still, if it is not getting clearing it, then in the next day session, we'll be getting clarifying on all those issues.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's how we'll be getting an option. Okay.
Okay, so let us suppose after getting the job, if I want to get any kind of job support or something like that, is there any possible to get from this?
Job support generally will be having the job support also, but job support means I will not be dealing with about with the job support here. They will be having some other guys to take with the job support. That option is
Oh,
available nowadays. Yeah. Yes.
oh,
Yeah.
mhm. Uh, Fine. Yeah, that's it. Anyway,
So generally, how we can do is, in case if you are comfortable with this particular timings, you can go ahead with this morning 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. Otherwise, from Monday, okay, I'm getting starting with the new batch. Okay, so okay, that is like a 10 p.m. evening, 10 p.m. to 11 p.m. If you want,
Oh,
you can
10
yeah, 10 p.m. to 11 p.m. we can continue that batch also.
Okay, okay. This is morning and that is in a evening session, right?
Right, evening session. Yes. Okay.
Okay. So
So
everything will be the 25 working days.
yeah, that will be the 25 working days. Otherwise, in case if we are having some emergency to complete as early as possible, then what you can do is from tomorrow you can continue the session of this morning 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. Okay.
Oh,
So the backup what already have been completed, those sessions you can get attendance in the evening batch. Okay.
okay.
Now almost have been completed, like 5 sessions got completed. Okay. So those 5 sessions you can get attended with the evening batch.
Mhm.
So for some days you will be getting attending morning batch and evening batch. By that, as very early you will be able to complete with the training part. So that's how you can plan it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So fine, so share it then.
Yeah. I can look
So,
into that.
and I will let you know about this one.
Okay.
That
Oh,
how much comfortable for me.
okay, fine. No problem. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay then. Yeah. Thank you.
Have a